overconsumption plays into sort of this issue with there's misinformation when it comes to political content, sensationalized content, and overconsumption content. They're kind of the same thing, only one's with items and one's with news and sensational stories. So there's two types of people who consume media online. You overconsume opinions or you overconsume objects, and both of them are used to escape reality. You watch both of them to escape your actual life. So we just watched a video of a man saying how Europe is being overtaken by immigrants and showing different things about Western cities being taken over. Okay, people watch that to kind of like feel good, which is an insane thing to think about, but it's kind of like suffering overconsumption. Okay, because it's not real. This is the other side of it. This is overconsumption when it comes to items, having things in your house. And there's a woman named Nicki who's very popular. Okay, Nicki is a very popular girly. She's a Christian girly, 7 million followers on TikTok. We've briefly talked about her, I think, in the past, but she is really fascinating because she gets a lot of flack of being a like super overconsumption. And then she argues with people about it. She says, I have a family of 5. We are not overconsumers. As a girly who was in a family of 12, you overconsume. And I don't see how this isn't just playing straight into your brand. And yet, I want you to check all the branding and the editing and the vibeness of it and see like if this is also a part of that overconsumption. Like, is the overconsumption not only what you see on camera, but the way that she response and people consume and the way that I'm even doing it now? Like, is this also a part of what this content is meant to do, is spark conversation? Okay, watch this.
Expect my last video to get so much hate. What I thought was a good life decision turned me into a wasteful villain who doesn't care about the less fortunate. So I wanted to take a moment to introduce myself to my new followers. My name is Nicki. I really love to clean and organize. And last year, my father passed away. And that devastation put so much into perspective for me. I decided to start taking my health seriously, both mentally and physically. And I've lost 70 pounds so far. My hubby and kids are also on this journey with me. My son, he's also lost 70 pounds. And we decided to remove food from our pantry that would hinder our weight loss progress. That made a lot of people mad. And I understand because there are people struggling that can't afford groceries. But my day one followers know I care deeply about the well-being of others because I was once less fortunate myself. Just a few months ago, I made blessing bags for a domestic violence women's shelter. My love language is acts of service on the giving end. My besties know I'm always giving back.
Okay, her audio is really low here, but she said, I love acts of service and I want to give back. Oops.
Not that I have anything to prove, but I just want my newbies to get to know me a little better. Let's pack up the unopened items that I didn't throw away and get them to those who need them.
Okay, so there was unopened packages that she took. She threw away opened packages. Honestly, if you're losing weight, it's really calories in, calories out for most people, caveat. So you really could have just like frozen those things and had a cookie once a week and eventually gone through that food or given it away to people and said, hey, I opened these cookies, but would you be willing to eat them? I don't want to throw them away. I think some people just like, they're much more not food waste aware, but that's the thing I want you to pay attention to. I have other things I want you to pay attention to, but look at this video now. Oh, fuck. Bro.
This is the only quiet moment I get all day before anyone needs me, before the chaos starts. And I always love to make my coffee at home instead of rushing out for it because this just makes it easier. And I'm living in my soft girl era. The Ninja Luxe Cafe does everything for me. I don't have to guess anything. I can make espresso, drip coffee, even cold brew, whatever mood I'm in that day. And it actually feels like a little moment for me instead of just another thing I have to do. Because once the day starts, you already know. If you're a mom or you love one, the Ninja Luxe Cafe would be the perfect gift. Besties.
Okay, so there's something here that I want you to pay attention to. One, I do think she's reusing clips that she records, which means that she's not, she is reusing. I think she's reusing clips. I feel like I keep seeing the same shots over and over again, which from one perspective is good and also something to keep in mind. Okay. she makes a lot of content that's like showing off her life in a sense, because that's what people want to see. They want to see you organize. But yet, okay, look at this video. This is a Costco haul. Like, I also want you to process, like, I just posted a video about what I eat this week and I shared it for my members. Two things happened to me. One, I was more stressed this week than I normally am because I normally don't have to think about cooking and filming and getting the lighting right. And also, I put no effort into making it look nice, because making it look nice is actually an incredible full-time job, because you have to understand the way she did not get to 7 million subscribers by being lazy, right? Laziness doesn't exist, but you know what I'm saying? She really puts a lot of work into her content to make it look this way so you watch it. And I say this as somebody who like wants to give credit where credit is due. This is not for the weak. She has 4 million likes on this video, guys. This is not for the weak. She is making actual content that people like. And the question is, does it send an unrealistic message to people about their living situation? So like when I shared my how to live on 50 euro a week video, I was trying to show you how to be realistic within a normal person's budget. But what she's showing you is what you want to aim for. But then the question is this what we should be telling people to aim for? Because it feels very overconsumption. And that's what people's main criticism of her is. But I want you to recognize that this is first and foremost a business, because this is really hard to do. And keep in mind, girlies, during this time when you and I would probably have music on or a video on or a podcast, or we'd have our partner come into the room, she can't have that. She has to have the ASMR vibe, natural sounds. You know, maybe she has it in her ear, but realistically, like she can't just have a chill, clean day. She can't have an anime on in the background while she's relaxing. She's working. She's making content. So it has to be done correctly, which means like what normally would take someone an hour to clean is going to take her 3 just so she can get the shots. So she's not showing you her real life, because her real life wouldn't look like this. Because your real life, I don't need to pause and put the camera on. And like, even when I was making you guys that video, that's not exactly my real life, because I don't also sit at my table and show you all the things I made today. Like, I also don't do a show about what I ate, or like, I don't try to make it look nice on the plate. You know what I'm saying? Like, so when it's content, know that there is always a part of it that's performative. Like, and this is insane, right? Like, just like, wait, like I grew up in a family of 12 people. We had 2 fridges in the house. Our fridges never look like this, because it doesn't represent what real families look like or live like. This is a performance of what you could live like. And that's why it sells, because people want the life that doesn't look like theirs. It looks organized. It looks nice. It's very lovely. It's a full-time job to make your life look this nice. And another example of this, because these videos are pretty long, one of my family members, as an example, has a beautiful home, like a beautiful life. Like, their life is so magazine worthy that when you go over, they freak out about how you sit on their couch. And I'm like, girly, have you ever thought that you're stressed every day because of how you live? And, you know, but he is so status obsessed. He's like he is so obsessed with people thinking he lives in a nice place in a very adjacent to whiteness neighborhood. Oh, that he doesn't even want, he's like anything out of place. And I'm like, ooh, yeah, I don't want to live like this. So we have a rule in our house: clean, presentable, but lived in. Clean, presentable, but lived in. Okay? Clean, presentable, but lived in. I don't want my house to look like it's an IKEA show house. Even though that's beautiful and I love it, that's not real life. Okay, we actually have one of these bowls, and it's honestly a lifesaver. You know, the one that like you spin around? It's actually amazing. Yeah, this. We have one that's similar. It's honestly amazing. But see, okay, this is the part where these people lose me. If you clean your vegetables and put them back in the fridge, if you do not dry everything and make sure everything is like perfect, it will mold. So like, I'm very confused about like washing everything and then putting it in. I'm very texture sensitive. I'm autistic. Okay. If I wash things and they get even slightly soft, it's over. So all these people that are putting a bunch of berries, a bunch of lettuce, a bunch of stuff in the fridge, it's confusing me. Because if you watch Michelin star cooks, they will tell you, be very careful when you wash the ingredients. It will wilt the salad. It will wilt things. You have to be very careful. You know what I mean? So like, I'm very confused, I think, about how people, because then I have to say, okay, so you're throwing away a lot of this food, right? And then it makes me, that's why people ask about the waste, okay? Chess says, what does it do, the spinny bowl? The spinny bowl cleans. It's a cleaner. It's not a mixer, it's a cleaner. So you clean your dish, you clean your vegetables, it's a strainer, but then when you put it in the spinny thing, it spins out the water faster. Like, you don't want to make a salad and have it dripping in water. You want to have your salad, you want to dry it or clean it. Otherwise, it mixes with the dressing. It waters everything down. To have a good quality salad, you want to wash it, and then you want to spin it multiple times until all the extra liquid is gone. And then you want to throw it into your mixing bowl, and then you want to put it into your serving bowl. Like this. Like, what are we doing? What do we need this for? And that's the other part of the overconsumption criticism. Like, girl, what do you need to take food out of plastic for to put it more into plastic? You know? This one is the weirdest one to me. This cannot be functional. Because every time you take a tray off, like, this cannot be functional. Look at this. This doesn't make any sense. Okay, first of all, plastic is gross. I feel like unless it's glass, plastic is kind of gross. Okay? Second of all, there's no way this is functional. Because like, then you take off one area, then you have to take out all three at the same time. It just doesn't make any sense. There's no way this could make my day easier. Like, this is just for TikTok. See, why would you take it out of the orange juice container and then put it into another container, which by the way, isn't properly sealed and will take in fridge taste? This lid, I have one of these. This lid does not protect from fridge taste. If you leave a container in your fridge open, the liquid will suck up the fridge taste. It doesn't make sense. This is just for online. This is just for content. Okay, now most food content creators will tell you they do not eat 90% of the food they make. They give it away to friends and family. They cannot eat the amount of food they produce for content. This is why I say, you have to understand the differences between content that's made to be consumed and content that's made to reflect a real life. The content I made for you on my my members video, that is as real to my life as I can get, and even then, okay? I'm not about to overspend my money. I am not about to get cuter plates. I'm not about to do anything that makes it more digestible as content because But like, this is a job. And the problem with this job is the overconsumption. Example, I watch MasterChef, and something that pisses me off about US MasterChef is how much food they throw away. After all of the competitions, they go, amazing dish, absolutely loved it. Then they take the plate and they put it in a trash can. Habibi, give it back to them to eat. Like, if it's edible food, if they didn't completely fuck it up, like, so much food goes to waste. So much unnecessary food goes to waste. It pisses me off. See? Why would you take it out of the thing to put in the thing? What? Oh, just because it looks better? 4 million likes on this video, y'all. 4 million likes. Okay, here's this one. And by the way, she is just very successful at this, but she is not the only one. Look at this. This is my favorite bullshit thing I see on every fucking TikTok. It's foot wrappers for your foot. Everything we own ends up in a landfill. Everything we own ends up in a landfill. So they come into the door and they put their foot in this thing and a bag wraps around it. It's a beautiful house. It's a beautiful house, but girly. Okay, and then this is like a defected, I think it disinfects something, blah, blah, blah. Like, come on now. Okay, a clothes warmer, it like keeps your clothes warm. Like, come on now. What is this? Look at this. Look at this. She's so cute. This is nothing against her. It's against the, it's not her. It's the industry. Look at this little thing on the floor. She's got this little thing on the floor. What is that? Is that like a little vibrator? What is that for? Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not even hating on her. I'm just like, what is the point of this? You know that irony that people get really mad about where like influencers get sent like $250,000 worth of makeup, but poor people will never get access to it? It's like the richer you get, the more shit you get for free. This is why I don't like the way this stuff is. You know what I mean? Chat said, is it for lymphedema? Is it? That's cool. We love support for health issues. I don't know what it's for. But like, I don't know. I've only seen it in workout videos, but I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's like, I don't know. I don't know what it is. But either way, it's interesting. And it's another piece of plastic. And like, again, it's not her. It's not her. There's nothing wrong with her. Well, I don't know that because she is a Jesus person. But it is us. Because why are 4 million of you liking this? Why is there even an industry for this? And then I guarantee you, like, she's getting sent so many things for free. And that's what it is. That's the thing that I think is so interesting. It's really the sensationalism of it all. And this is also why I think this is the opposite of the Miyazaki dream. This is like the absolute opposite. This is like overconsumption final boss compared to minimalist final boss. Do you know what I mean? This is actually, but I need you to understand how hard it is to film all these things. She is amazing at her job. Like, as a content creator, she's amazing. Because, like, this is such a pain in the ass to film. She makes it look so easy. Oh my God, did you see all those cups? Oh my God. You see all those? Look, look, look. Jeez! Did you see that? What is that, a Target? Is that a Target? What do you work at Target? What do you need all those cups for? That's what I'm saying. What? Whoa! Okay, I swear it's the same clip every time. I think she's reusing this content, which is probably smart. Maybe not. Look at this. I mean, I get it, but I don't get it. Whoa. Look at this. She's in her little beauty mask. She's so funny. Look at this. Like, what are we doing here? Like, what is this? We do not need this in our life. A little drinking cup that also lets us eat out of it. Come on, people. Do you know what I'm saying? Listen. I know I moved to the part of Europe that's like tank tops and cigarettes and, cuss words, but also, that's kind of like so Assyrian of us to move to a place where we sit outside all day, we smoke, and we eat like sunflower seeds, and we play cards. Like, take me, you know what I'm saying? Give me a backyard where we are playing cards together, and don't talk to me about none of this because I'm tired. Okay, put your hair up, call it a day, walk around barefoot if you must. Like, this stresses me out. But there are people who are like, this is aspirational. This is what I want. This is how I want to live my life. Like, is this how you want to live your life? Like, I cannot help but see this as just like, I don't know. Yeah. Okay. Check this out. I'm going to go back to her in a second. This is another woman who makes similar content. And then I'm going to show you the absolute opposite but similar side of this. Okay, oops. Oh my God. See, like, what is this? What do you need to take off your shoes and put in a little sanitizer for? Sterilizer for your glasses? Come on, girl. Sterilizer. Plastic, so much plastic, all this plastic. Food wash? Do you know what I mean? Like, do you see what I mean? Oopsies. Uh-oh. She said I'm a single mom of one kid. So you and your daughter are gonna eat all that food? Bro, that is so much food.
Hi, Mama. Hi, Mama.
How was your day?
Good. I know what this is.
Okay. Now, I want to show you Bradley on a budget. Because Bradley on a budget is the same thing in reverse. Where Bradley is disgusting, and I hate the sensationalizing of his content. He's like the super uber frugal guy. He's the guy who uses the same piece of floss over and over again because he needs to save money. He's disgusting. But he's the same thing on the other side. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, he's not different. He is an overconsumer in the other way. He's like an extreme minimalist, but it's all sensational. It's ridiculous. It's not healthy. It's not balanced.
Currently looks like this, and I got a text from my apartment currently looks like this, and I got a text from my landlord saying that tomorrow is apartment inspection. So clean and defrugal my apartment with me to keep my landlord happy and my rent cheap. Don't ask why I have a car seat. If you know, you know. These apartment inspections usually happen once a year, and my landlord will just randomly text the day before. Yes, I'm hiding my yellow pillow. It's clean. Shut up. Inspections are just to make sure the fire alarm's working and that we're not breaking any rules. I need to defrugal my college dorm mattress and make it look like a cozy bed. I have lived in this apartment for 6 years now. Despite the conspiracy theory that people think this is a filming studio, God forbid a guy wants to live as cheap as possible. Jeez. And my rent is $850 a month, so we gotta clean this bad boy. I know my laundry bag has seen better days, but I just tuck it away in the corner so he won't see it. And for people who say this is rage bait, shut up! It's called working my butt off to make a better life for myself, and I'm burnt out. Oh my god, I found my wig. It looks like a raccoon. We'll just put that back in the closet. This is my batch of paper towels because I don't like to throw them out after one use. Makes sense to me, but not most people, so I usually just cover it up when someone comes over. Onto the bathroom, and viewer discretion is advised. As I was putting away my toilet paper pile, I found one of those bugs, which I found last time when I cleaned my apartment, so that can't be good. When a guy's coming over to crochet, or my landlord is coming to inspect the place, I always make sure to put out a roll of toilet paper. We also have to cover up the towel because even though I don't care about it, it's just a towel. It serves its purpose, but most people think I'm insane for having a towel like this. So there we go, covered up, easy peasy. We also have to do something about the bottles and cans. This is the only place I have to store them. But collecting bottles and cans is just another way I make money every month. The only logical thing I could come up with is putting them away in my car for now. You gotta do what you gotta do. I don't know. And I just want to say, I know a lot of people are probably gonna claim that this is rage bait, which my content is not rage bait. It's just how I live my life. And the way my brain processes things just makes sense to me. I know it doesn't make sense to most people, but I think it's important as a creator to keep it real when most of social media is so fake, and just highlight that life isn't always perfect. I don't always have it together. My apartment often looks like this because I'm juggling so much in my life. I was really struggling in the winter, so now that it's nicer out and I'm feeling better, I really want to keep up with my apartment, cleaning a little bit every day so it does not get this bad again. After many hours, finally my apartment looks so much better. It's going to be ready for the inspection tomorrow, and I definitely feel so much better having a nice clean apartment. Don't be too hard on yourself if you're struggling right now and trying to keep up with life. Social media makes you feel like everyone's life is picture perfect and everyone has everything squeaky clean, but that's not the reality for most.
Okay, so I am in the middle where I live off my income and I don't use a credit card, and we don't have a lot of money left over every month, so we don't buy a lot of new things. And yet, we have new sponges. We get new paper towel. We have nice towels. We have good bedding. I understand he brags about having like $200,000 in savings. Habibi, not worth the savings, because my mental health would take such a fucking toll if my house was this dirty. My mental health would absolutely fucking decline so fucking fast if this was what I lived in. Okay, right? He has 1 million followers. The boy has money, okay? Now, apparently, like, he has some trauma stuff that makes it so he does live this way, but let's go through his most popular videos. 25 million.
I'm proud of where I'm from.
Ooh, I'm gonna mute that. Everyone hating on my frugal lifestyle, but I'm 32 with almost 500,000 saved. Okay? Knowing people exist that never have to worry about money. Okay, what I got for free on my birthday.
You could get a lot of free stuff on your birthday, so spend my birthday with me as someone who's frugal to see all the things I got. Took a quick shower because I have a very frugal day ahead of me. Benny's was my first stop of the day. You could get a free Grand Slam on your birthday. I'm only doing birthday freebies where
I mean, honestly, good hack though.
you do not have to spend any money to get it. This is literally my Olympics. Like, a whole day of getting free stuff is so fun for me. This is the
Okay, wait, Chessa, do you think it has anything to do with the whole guys don't see clutter thing? Well, do you mean like Bradley, or do you mean like my mental health would collapse overnight? Both. I will just say this. I think he's disgusting. I think that's one thing. I think there are just really gross people on the planet that are perfectly fine to be gross. I'll give you a funny example. One time I lived with a person, okay, who was a grown-up, like a grown-up. And they let me stay in their house temporarily while I was going through a stage, okay? And they had a rule. They had a sign. They owned their house. They made good money, guys. Like, this was person with good money, okay? They had a sign above their toilet that said, if it's yellow, let it mellow. If it's brown, flush it down. And I said to them, what do you mean? And they go, if you just pee, leave it in there. And I said, but it smells. It's gross. Like, it's a gross smell. It's pee smell. Why would you want pee smell in your bathroom? And they're like, to save money. And I was like, you have money. They had a nice house in a nice neighborhood. And they were like, that's just the rule. So please follow the rule. And I was like, why? Now, obviously, it had something to do with their childhood. They became like independent at 15. They have been on their own their whole life. They've gotten themselves through education, school, a house by themselves. They were truly felt like they could not change this way of living, or it would maybe crumble the life that they lived. Fine. Bradley, the same thing. There's like, it always comes back to our childhoods, right? Why do I live the way I live? Because of my childhood. My mother always got the compliment of like, oh my God, your house doesn't even look like 10 kids live here. But my mother was also very like, she let us like live in that house. My mom's house was always clean, but it was also very lived in. And that's what I aim for, okay? That's what I want. I want a house that's clean, but looks very lived in. I don't want it to be this perfect, weird TikTok house. And I also don't want to be Bradley on a fucking budget. And we're also not going to wait to flush our pee down. Like, come on. You know what I mean? So like adulthood really is like your childhood. So you need to deconstruct your own childhood. Okay. We're not dismantling. Deconstruction means to take it apart and learn about it in detail, right? To have a better relationship with self. Okay. That's what you're aiming for here. Okay. So back to this.
Best way to celebrate my birthday. Breakfast was so good, and even better because it was.
Sorry. Wait. You know what this also relates to is like, we're staying in the middle. So I want you to know, I'm very happy with the way things are going for us, and I want that to be an inspiration for you. I want you to know that it is hard, but it also is better than the extremes. So like Dave Ramsey says, if you have any sort of debt, you can't see the inside of a restaurant. Like, nobody has time for that, Dave. Sit down, okay? Nobody has time for that. But that means, though, you don't have to go to a restaurant even once a month, but you can go every 3 months or so. Not a big deal. Same thing with clothes. Like, you can afford new clothes. You don't have to walk around with holes in your clothes. Like, if there's a hole in our clothes, it gets turned into washcloths. Okay. I am not about to live like Bradley on a budget. You know what I'm saying? I'm not about to live with reusing floss. Get me new floss. Okay. I go through floss pretty frequently because I'm flossing, and my partner gets me my favorite floss. He knows what I like. And he's not going to be like, oh, like we could save this money to spend towards our savings for. Get me new floss. Do not piss me off. Okay? Do not piss me off. Your toothbrush needs to be changed. Change your fucking toothbrush. You know what I mean? Bradley's toothbrush, by the way, is disgusting. Change your toothbrush. I don't even want to see your toothbrush trying to do the splits. If your toothbrush is doing the splits even slightly, don't even talk to me. Don't even move your breath in my direction. Thank you.
Free. Of course, I'm taking the napkin with me. That is free toilet paper. If you know, you know. Even though the food was free, I still made sure to tip the waitress. I tipped her $3, which is 43%. So shut up. Next, I went to the mall, which is a great place to go on your birthday. And I met some budget baddies. That was so nice. You guys are the best birthday gift I could ever ask for. First, went to California Pizza Kitchen because you could get a free dessert on your birthday. And then I went to PF Chang's because you could get a free appetizer on your birthday. The host was so sweet. Thanks for following me. Not only did I get free food, I got free trash bags because you guys know I use paper bags as trash bags. What a great day this has been so far.
Look, I do little hacks like this too. Like, I definitely put water in my shampoo bottles. We save bags. We do little things like this too, but we're not like this, like getting free meals on your birthday, fun fact. Like, that's a fun like hack. I like that. Okay. But ew, did I like this video? What the fuck? I keep liking the videos by clicking on them. But the point is that I don't go to the extreme. If we need new trash bags, we buy new trash bags. Okay. Okay. And usually we don't save our bottles. We put them in bags and we let the unhoused or struggling Croatian old people come get them because they need the bottles to pay for their stuff. Okay. So like, again, it's like the balance. I'm not going to do this. Are there some hacks he does that I'm like, oh, that's pretty good. Okay. But like, okay.
These fried dumplings and this cheesecake, these two things cost $27. Is that not absolutely insane? But it's my birthday, so I got it for free and I did not have to spend any money to get it. I'll save some for later because I have to pace myself. I started going into random stores just asking if I could get anything for my birthday. I got a few notes and then I went to Crumble. I saw they don't give you a free cookie on your birthday anymore unless you're a certain member status. The girl was so nice and I still got a cookie. I was about to DM Sawyer and tell him to pull up. And I love that this is the only time I'm ever a customer going to these stores is to get something free on my birthday. It's pretty iconic. Next, I went to the movie theater because you could get a large popcorn for free. Didn't even go see a movie. Literally went in to get popcorn and then I left. To get your birthday freebies, you just have to make sure that you sign up for the rewards program.
Wait. No, how did he do that? In every movie theater I've been to in the last 10 years, you can't even get to the popcorn area unless you buy a ticket. Wait, how did he do that? Am I stupid? I feel like even the last time I went to the movie theater, you have to go through the ticket line before they even let you into the concession area. Oh, you know what though? Not in Croatia. In Croatia, the concession area is separate from the ticket area. But yeah, in Arizona, in California, I wonder if it's the way the theater is shaped. Yeah, the last time I went to the movies in Arizona, you can't get to the popcorn area until you buy a ticket. So yeah, it must be different because in Croatia, he could do that here. The popcorn line is open for you. Yeah, okay. Huh. That's interesting. Okay, I believe him. It's possible.
I'm ahead of time. After securing the popcorn, I headed over to my parents' house because they love movie theater popcorn. Thought I'd say hi to them on my birthday and give them some of my treats. Then I went to Smashburger. You could get a free milkshake on your birthday. Doesn't have to cost you anything.
Okay, honestly, this is probably the best hack Bradley has ever showed us. Genuinely, I do think you should get this free shit on your birthday. Fuck capitalism. Go get that free shit, girls. Okay, everybody lock in. This is the best Bradley video I've ever actually seen because honestly, good hack.
I love milkshakes so much.
As an example, Disneyland used to let you in on free for your birthday, and I used to take all of my siblings on their birthdays. Disneyland used to have that. I don't know if they still have it, but you have to take a birth certificate. You show that it is their birthday, and you get in for free. That's why all my siblings, or my little siblings especially, I was like, "You're going to Disneyland with Auntie Brittany, or not Auntie Brittany, with Brittany." I'm so used to having my nieces and nephews, but I'm taking you to Disneyland. So I love free birthday stuff.
Though this was a nice treat and it tastes even better when it's free. Then I ended my day at Chili's. I think last year I was able to get a free dessert without having to spend any money. Maybe I'm wrong, but this year there was a $5 minimum. But my sister came with me and she bought food, so that worked out. Yes, my birthday dinner was chips and salsa, but it was free, so I don't care. Yum. Of course, the napkins are coming home with me because I'm never gonna buy toilet paper ever. I got this peanut butter pie thing to share with my sister, and it was free for my birthday, which is awesome. Everything I got today came to $72.35, which is pretty insane.
Wait, that's a lot though. Wait, repeat?
For my birthday, which is awesome. Everything I got today came to $72.35, which is pretty insane. I did not spend $1 because I got it all for free on my birthday.
Oh, so so it didn't cost him $72. It would be $72. That is a hack. Okay, Bradley, this is the only video that I approve of. Now that's a hack. Damn. Okay.
I'm frugal and hate to spend money, but not when it's for kids in need for Christmas. So come along with.
He did that. Oh, I'm gonna get copyrighted.
I'm frugal, and once a year, I like to upgrade some things in my apartment.
Look at that toothbrush, girl. Look at that towel. Come
frugal,
on now.
And once a year, I like to upgrade some things in my apartment, even though I hate to throw things out. So this was everything I upgraded in my apartment to get the new year started off right. Breaks my heart to say this, but I will be parting ways with my sponge. I think I used it for the majority of last year, and even though it still has a little scrubby left on it, I do think it's time to move on and finally use the other half of my sponge. I like to cut my sponges in half because you get double the lifespan out of them. Had to do one final set of dishes before moving on. Maybe I could just save it to use when I clean the bathroom or something. I don't know. Next were my pillows. A lot of people were concerned by them just because they're really yellow. It's honestly probably from sweating because I don't use the AC in the summertime. I didn't know you could wash pillows, so I was gonna wash them, and then I realized literally have been in a casing this whole entire time. I feel so stupid. Would have been washing them all this time if I knew that. Honestly, they're still kind of yellow, but at least they're clean. Okay, I need your help with this one. Is it time to move on from the little drip painting? I know the paintings become a staple in my apartment, but I found this very nice mirror when I was dumpster diving a few months ago. Instead of selling it, I decided to keep it, but I'm just really struggling to part ways with my painting. I put that painting up the first day I moved into this apartment 6 years ago. Maybe I need to learn to embrace change, so if you like the mirror, let me know and maybe I'll keep it up. I also decided it's time to part ways with my toothbrush. Personally, I still feel like I have life out of it because most of the bristles are okay. I don't know, that's just how my brain works, but when I go to the dentist twice a year, I do ask for an additional toothbrush. Maybe I'll just keep my other toothbrush and use it for cleaning. I don't know, I hate to throw stuff out. Packers tape on my phone screen has started to get really bad. It's starting to lift up. I decided to take it off and freshen it up with a new layer of tape. I'm so tired of people saying this is rage bait. When I cracked my phone screen when I was broke, I did research and someone said use Packers tape and it worked perfectly. I figure instead of buying a screen protector, if I have Packers tape, I'm just gonna use Packers tape. It works, so shut up. I also realized I haven't thrown out my trash bag in this little trash can in the bathroom for like ever. It's gotten kind of gross, so I decided to move on from it. Also, my mom got this little baggie when she bought vegetables from the grocery store the other day. Really anything could be a trash bag if you believe in yourself. Now the bathroom has a fresh trash bag for the year. Those were some upgrades I made to freshen up the apartment and get the new year started right.
So obviously, I don't know if it's rage bait or clickbait, but he's popular. Over 1 million followers, 1 million like on this video. People really like it. And I think it's just the extremes. People like the extremes. And that's what I want you to be cautious of. This love for the extreme, this love for, oh my God, this is so different from my life. This is so outside of my life. This is, oh my God. That's the thing that I want you to contend with and ask yourself, do I want something so incredibly different than the life I've lived? Or I don't want the life that I live to be so, or do I want the life I live to be so different in a way that doesn't require me to go to these extremes? And that's why I always say, like, you know, philosophy is the answer, because none of this is philosophical or philosophically sound. All of this is desperate. All of this is not balanced. All of this is just, it's like the wrong why. You know what I mean? And I agree with you, chat, that like, you know, being with this person or sleeping on their pillows, or you would feel like kind of, you know, this is the reflection. And we do this in our own life. We sit and we assess situations, and we're very much always trying to deconstruct our childhoods and say like, oh, I wonder why this stresses me out. Or I wonder why this is, I think one of the first things we did when we got married and stuff is we went bed shopping, like for bedding. And I picked out bedding I liked, and I wanted to be comfortable when I slept. And even recently, it's now that time of the year where I'm like, okay, I think I want new sheets. You know, we've been on these sheets for a while. I think we're done with these sheets. You know, we're not trying to overspend, but we're not trying to deny ourselves care either. So, you know, it's one of those balancing acts. Everything we try to do is balance. So I don't want to be Bradley on a budget. And I don't want to be Nicki either. I don't want to have to overconsume, and I don't want to have to underspend. But I think this is the trick, because when I watch Ramith's show, he does a finance show. When I see a woman who's got a net worth of 1.5 million, and she feels guilty over buying new $60 leggings, even though her leggings have a hole, I think to myself that, see, like, she's not having the balance. I don't want to feel guilty that I've spent money. And I also don't want to give in to that capitalistic brainwashing overconsumption bullshit I've been raised with, which is like buy, 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 buy. It's about that balance, you know? And that's what I want to encourage you to do is don't feel guilty. I will not feel guilty. If you see me with new clothes or new earrings or new something, I do not feel bad about it, and I shouldn't feel bad about it. And if you started to notice that, like, oh my God, Brittany's like in brand new insert name brand clothing here, and it's a new one every day. I mean, something bad might have happened. Do you know what I mean? Because again, I have an embodied value system, and embodied values that tells us even if we had the money, it doesn't mean we have to buy new things every day. And this coincides with what I said yesterday about the Met Gala. Like, I want to play dress up too. And also somebody in chat said, but they don't want to fall into overconsumption. Trading is a beautiful thing. Giving away old clothes to other people, making sure you guys can trade items. I think that's so beautiful. Like, trading is good. Bartering is good. Like, being paid for your labor is good. Trying to like be gluttonous, trying to hoard, not good. Okay. So like, don't hoard. Like, one of the rules we have in this household is no hoarding. So if we have no use for this wire, we're not going to have a wire bag in the house. But if we want to keep within reason certain things in stock in case we need them, that's okay. But we're not going to hoard. So same thing. So, you know, weirdly enough, there's two types of hoarding happening. Like, Bradley on a budget is almost like a hoarder, but minimalist. But he's kind of hoarding. He won't give away. He won't let go, right? And then Nicki kind of is a hoarder in the sense that she like doesn't identify as an overconsumption girly because everything gets used. But then why do you have so much excess? You know, so it's you know, when you think about, yeah, like Chad said, is Bradley hoarding his money? Well, I don't know what he's doing with it, but in a sense, but it's really this idea of not letting go. Guys, a lot of the hoarders that I've met over my life, they're living in piles of garbage, like literal garbage. It's not even useful. It's like diapers. And like, obviously there's mental health associated with this, but really it's a crisis of fear. A lot of the hoarders that I've met that arguably their homes are like beautiful, or you wouldn't really realize they're traditional hoarders, even though they are, is their sentimental like attachment to items. Like, oh, I can't get rid of this. My daughter wore it in the 7th grade, and I remember taking a picture of her with it, of her in it, and it just brings back so many memories. And I'm like, it's time. It's time, you know? And I've helped a lot of people. There's a lot of really important people in my life who suffer in this way. And that's why I always have a deep compassion, even for Bradley, but also for Nicki. Because I do think if she is seriously thinking that any of this is just reasonable, she's either falling for the capitalistic like coping of like, you know, over consuming, or they're suffering in the way that Bradley's obviously suffering. And what's interesting about Bradley, right, is that he has a family. I just couldn't imagine if this was my sibling, me not having the most intense intervention and being like, I love you so much. I support you. Also, what is this? What actually is this though? Because there's something happening here, you know? And that's the concern I have. So I just want you to remind yourselves, like, real life is so much more different than these heavily curated content, TikToks you see or whatever else. But even more than that, it's so philosophically obvious how out of balance we all are. And there's nothing wrong with staying in balance. So don't make yourself suffer unnecessarily. Go to that restaurant, enjoy your meal, girl, eat out. Honestly, I'm so tempted to just order food tonight just to prove it to myself that I also can stay fun. Haha. But also, don't order every night your favorite vegan burger, because you know that's crazy $15 a day, and that's so overdone. That's so overdone. You know what I mean? So stay within that balance, and don't trap yourself. Philosophy should liberate you, not trap you. Good philosophy should liberate you, not keep you in a new golden cage. I'm not about to golden cage myself into never enjoying food because, quote, we don't have our 6 months worth of savings. You know what I mean?